Ani. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jim's coming soon.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm.
Good morning. Hey, Jen, can you do me a favor? It looks like you are set up as the moderator, maybe because you logged in first. I don't have controls over things. So,
Okay.
like the recording and all that kind of stuff, I don't usually start the recording until we get everybody on.
Okay. I just made you host.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Sure.
All right. And for the record, Biljana said she may not be able to make it. She just got back from an event over here, had some amazing breakthroughs, and she's like, it's middle of the night. I don't know if I can keep going. So I think she's back home instead of here in the U.S. Who wants to kick off the wins?
I will.
All right, go for it, Jeff.
Just over the last 2 weeks, we've launched a new company, that Celebrity Token, and it's got a heck of a lot of potential, and I couldn't be more excited.
All right, and to explain briefly what that is to Ani, do you have like a one sentence?
Yeah, it's a cryptocurrency that's asset backed by celebrity memorabilia, and it's got potential to grow way beyond that. But the fact that it's asset backed, I think, is really a big key thing. And then the fact that we have all the celebrities that are signing up for it, they can publicize it very quickly, and we can get a lot of people using the coins, and that adds a lot of utility. And we've got a state-of-the-art coin that we're basing it on. So it's kind of got a lot of good features on it that have potential for amazing growth.
I love it. I love it. All right. So Ani?
I got a new client in Point Loma. So it's a house project. Really cool, interesting space, 3-story, awesome views. And the next is the kind of continuing to go deeper with trending design. So I have a marketing, somebody on board for marketing to help me with the course, the design course. I'm getting clear. So I'm going to start with just kind of design 101, but incorporate environmental psychology in this design course. So something that is specific design trends. So not just an overview of a complete design, but design trends course.
So you're actually creating the course?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. I like that because it's scalable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and also can position you as an expert too.
Mm-hmm.
So by getting that out there, you position yourself in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I know Donna said she was going to be on, but she's not. So we'll keep rocking and rolling. I wanted to share, I'll wait till Donna gets on. So let's start the discussion of what you want to focus on this week. And I'll also let you know that one of the things that I want to invest some time in for today is discussing the Mastermind, which is next week. So I need to know, are you coming?
What are the dates for that?
It's next, the business Mastermind is next Thursday, or let's see, Wednesday, Thursday? Next Thursday, Friday.
So 25th and 26th?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's it going to be, in Rancho?
Here at the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, count me in.
So Jeff's here. Ani, how about you?
What time does that start on Thursday?
Well, we can do the start times whenever you want. I mean, basically it is the 3, maybe 4 of us. So if both of you are coming, I don't know if Donna's going to be able to make it. And I think Biljana was coming back. So she's making another trip back here, I believe. So that'll determine. This group's a little, because it's smaller, it's more open, more loose than the other one, which is all coaches, and that's got a full, it's got 9 people in it. So that's part of what I want to do is to design, do we want a full 2 days? Do we just want 1 day? What do you guys want to do? We're doing it upstairs here, so we've got access to that. And there's some other things that I've been asked if I want to bring you guys down to Billy Jean's running his mastermind. He's got, it's more of an event. He's got a couple hundred people down at that. He asked me if I would come down and speak and mentor. And I thought, well, maybe that's something you guys want to go to, is to sit in on some, because he wants me to talk about business. So sit in on.
When is that?
That's going to be on Friday. We don't know the time yet. So here's what we're looking at right now is, let's say we started at 9 to 5 on Thursday and Friday, right? We have a tentative dinner planned on Thursday at I Truly, which is an Italian restaurant up here. That would be Thursday night. I've got a reservation at 6:15 if you guys want to go there. A friend of ours is the waiter there, so it's a great guy, good food, and kind of a fun, just the 4 of us hang out and have a good dinner. Then Friday, some mostly mastermind, but then sometimes Friday we would head downtown, and we would I'll lock it down with Billy Jean to see what time he wants me to come speak to his group down there. And if we wanted to do a little extra time, maybe I'll find out what topics they're doing, and we might be able to see some of what they're teaching too. It's probably going to be digital marketing type stuff.
Digital marketing is very interesting to me.
Okay. Yeah. And I know, Ani, that's probably of interest to you. I know it is of Donna. And then if you guys want, a lot of the coaches are flying in on Thursday and Friday. So Friday night, we're just going to have an open dinner for whoever wants to join from this mastermind and the coaches mastermind. And that would be an early one. It starts at 4:30 at Pacific Coast Grill. So we're there from 4:30 to about 6:15. And that way people can, if they want to head back after traffic or hang out or do whatever they can. But we'd be done by 4:30 with the masterminding on Friday.
Will Fran be there?
Fran is not coming in for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got some plans on Friday night, but maybe I can push those out, or I don't know. Up to see.
All right.
But does Billy Jean have a website that I can look at?
You can look up Billy Jean is Marketing, Gene is Marketing, and he's got all kinds of YouTube videos and stuff. He runs a digital marketing agency. He's cranking. His style is pretty unique, and they're really good at their media. So you can do your background on him.
All right. Yeah, and you can get us into possibly some of that.
Yeah, he asked to hire me to come speak, and I said, well, we're friends, so I'll come, speak whatever. And I'm in a mastermind, so I'm going to bring my people down to that. So he won't have an issue with it.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I would think that since there's only 4 of us, that we could do most everything in one day. But I don't know. I think maybe if we have time left, if we still want to do something on Friday, we can kind of decide on Thursday.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about what's on the agenda that you guys want to focus on, on Thursday, Friday. I blocked off both days. And of course, if Ilyana's flying from overseas, then, that's a big deal. If not, then if it's just us, let's say Donna's not flying in or Bilyana's not flying in, then the 3 of us could get together on Friday and do part of the day with me and part of the day with Billy Jean, or both days. I'm open. It's blocked off.
I think that sounds good. How do you feel, Ani?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, because I could come down early on Friday and spend a full day.
Okay.
And
If Bilyana's here, are you not able to come on Thursday?
oh, I can come on Thursday as well.
I just feel like if she's going to fly across the world to come to be with you guys, it would be awesome if you guys were all together.
Yeah. Yeah. If she's flying in, or even if Donna's flying in, I mean, it's, that's a bigger commitment than us driving for 30, to 45 minutes. So
Is she flying into LAX by chance?
I'll find out. I'm going to reach out to her right now while you guys communicate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
because
keep in mind,
if
Jen,
she is flying into LAX, I'd like her to come by and meet my partner, and maybe do a face-to-face with my partner. And as far as maybe trying to work out something with the SEO with her. So that might be good. Good use of her time on the way down.
okay.
All right. Do you want to maybe touch base a little later? I guess about the dates. We can kind of keep it up in.
Yeah, we'll lock it down. Right now, just block off Thursday, Friday. If it opens up where you have more time, that's great. What do we want to focus on this call? One of the things is mastermind topics, and the other is, for the event. What would you want to cover? What's most important that's going on? And we can either dive into some today, or we can just, use it in the mastermind, depending on what's the right format. So where do you both want or need support?
My focus is on this course and, getting that dialed in, and just, starting with, kind of like the basics of the trending design topics. And
so you need content. You need your content created, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the outline. And mm-hmm. So the next step would just be is doing, the slides. So kind of thinking, well, what's the best way for delivery? I mean, there's so many. There's Teachable, or there's just like slide decks, doing like a voiceover, slide decks, or videos. So it's such a visual process that I'm thinking having the slide deck with a voiceover and just teaching that way.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would help. I know for me, I love doing content, and I love doing different mediums of how you design it. So for me, it would help to actually see what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and to go, oh, here's your content. Because one of the things you two haven't been exposed to yet is that we're bringing on to Ultimate Life, we're bringing on a content and media expert. So Abby Gibb is coming on. So what we're building content and media. So that's one piece. And we're also bringing on Dave Sarno's team. So Dave Sarno's the one who says, great, you've got your content, you got your programs, you got your whatever. Now you need to digitally market it. So he's going to be doing the traffic and conversion. And he's got a team that runs, right now, I think they've got 4 multi-million-dollar funnels of clients on their system. So we're putting the whole package together for that. So you can bring your content and let us take a look at what you have. Because content marketing is huge. And that's all the stuff that drives people into your product or your funnel. And, what's the deliverables? And that's what you're calling your content thing. So there's 50 different platforms you can use. I've tested a lot of them. Sounds like Donna's losing a lung over there. You okay?
Hi, Donna.
I've got a really bad cold, so you have to excuse me. I'm not talking too good.
Oh, well, we'll send you some good energy. You gonna make it on this call?
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Okay. So what we were just talking about is the mastermind. Can I get a quick understanding of whether you are planning on flying in, or are you not going to be able to make this one?
I'm not. I haven't decided yet. I'm still working on my schedule for meeting with the owner of the World Food Championships. So I'm trying to see how much I can get done before he gets here, so I know if I can come or not.
Okay, so we'll leave you as
a question mark.
Okay, all right. So Ani, your primary focus is on the course, and that's everything from the designing the content to designing the funnels to your market, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your launch date?
I don't have a launch date. I need to set a goal. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take.
Well, it'll take however long you decide. So if you tell
Yeah.
me you have to launch this course next week, well, then
Uh-huh.
there's certain things that are going to get done and certain that aren't. If you tell me, well, I've got 90 days, then, yeah.
So then I'm going to do a goal that feels my main goal for this next round is just to do like a prototype, like a beta, and get users in there, and then I'll obviously discount or give the course away to some people and discount it to others, and do that beta and get feedback to improve it for the next round.
So did you do research on any of the keyword stuff to determine what people are searching for, how many people are searching for this kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, I have just kind of general SEO. I haven't searched the AdWords for design courses though. Only just kind of decor and decoration.
Well, you and I did that one where it was like how to become a designer or something like that. And we looked and there was an example of a gal who had a really nice funnel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you remember what that one was? Interior Design Institute.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if it were me, I would look at the research and see how many people are searching for what keywords. And this is part of what Dave does too, is he's got softwares that tell you, go watch my live stream with Dave yesterday.
Okay. Right.
So he talks about the 7 things that are important, one of which is doing the research. And he's got the tools and everything that tell you, well, this is the number 1 competitor in the space. Here's where they're getting their traffic. Here's the keywords that they're using. Here's how much they're spending to get customers there. Right. And you can even engineer to figure out, well, how many sales they're making. I don't know if he does that, but I remember another friend of mine said, oh yeah, I can tell about how many sales they're getting because it's hitting their thank you page. Right. So the only reason somebody gets a thank you page is if they bought their course. So he's like, yeah, they're getting 10 a day at $100, so making $1,000 a day. You can see that kind of stuff, through the internet. Of course, you might have to buy the course to get that data, and you got to have the software. But looking at that and then saying, well, this is the space I'm going after, right? Here's how my product is going to sell against that other product. Here's how I'm going to advertise. And here's what I expect to do. Most people get caught up in what's the content of the course. And if you're focused just on the content of the course and you don't do that front end, you might create courses that either A, people don't really want, or B, they don't ever find. Does that make sense? So if I was going to create a course on masterminds, I would basically say, all right, Dave, how many searches per month are on masterminds? Where are the people going and what are they buying? And then based on that, I'd have some data. What's that? Jeff, you're on mute. I unmuted you. Oops.
Yeah, there might be some other keywords besides mastermind that kind of mean the same thing that you could sprinkle in there. And I had a question for Ani. Is feng shui, is that any part of your class? Is that one of the trends?
Yeah, I mean, I like to call it environmental psychology. I did get certified in feng shui, but I'm not a master. I mean, it's a really long process to become like really mastered at it. But yeah, I do incorporate kind of like really principle feng shui.
Like that might be something that you look for is environmental psychology. See how many people are searching for that. There's probably not that much competition for it, but there's probably not as many people searching for it. And then kind of weigh what feng shui, because there's probably a lot of people searching for that, but there's probably also a lot of competition for that.
Well, see, those, based on what I think Ani is doing, that would be in my content marketing strategy. But what she's selling, if you look at it, let me show you guys an example, because what she's selling, we found a good example. Let me share my screen here. And this is important of understanding your content marketing strategy versus, which is, hey, I've got free content that I'm sharing out there, like what you're talking about, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have a topic, a course, a blog, or whatever just on that. But this right here is her competition. Okay. And it's the Interior Design Institute. And we did keyword research. It was people searching for how to become an interior designer. And there was a lot of traffic on that. This was the number one. And you can see, interior design course, start an exciting new hobby or career, download our free thing. So they're capturing the database. It's an online course, right?
Hmm.
And you can even go through and look and start looking at what social media assets do they have, how many people are in here. So when you go to the Interior Design Institute, what do they have? You can see the content, you can see the brand, right? So there's 67,971 people that like this.
Wow.
All right. Now here's the other keyword tool. So if you go to keyword tool, I don't know if I have this one. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I do. So I'm going to so I think it's this one. You can tell I don't do this. Somebody else does this. But basically they do the research. For me, I would spend a little time doing the research and making sure that you have a match to the market with your product. Because there's no sense in building a big product that nobody's really searching for.
Right. And you don't really want to go head to head with the Interior Design Institute. They've got a great name and a great following. So I think kind of discovering like a niche that that you could be different from them and attract a different crowd.
Yeah, that may or may not be true. You may actually want to, if there's, looking at the competition, she may have something that's a spin on what they do. So you can sell against what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is it?
And if she needs feng shui help, I can always help her.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Where is the planner? Jen, do you remember where the planning tool is in this?
The planning tool for
Search keywords. That's what I was looking for. All right. So let's say that we put, what was it called? It was Interior
Design Institute?
Interior Design Certification. Let's just see what it. This is not the tool that I'm thinking. There's a tool that's. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if I want to spend too much time on this one particularly, but let me see if this does it. I could probably ask David how he would do it. Yeah, because this is trying to create a campaign, and that's not what I want to do. Keyword planner. Oh, maybe we just did it by typing into Google in the top. Yeah. So it was interior. Here, let's go to Google. Watch this. This is a kind of a workaround. Oh gosh, why did it do this? Sorry. Okay, so if I go interior design schools. All right, so see, just going down, San Diego, it's geolocating me schools. Interior Design Schools, Art Institute, Interior Design Institute right here. So there are tools that can help you look at their site and see what keywords they're going for, the long tail keywords. And that'll give you an idea of what people, it's most likely going to be graphic design or online interior design, something like that. Because these are ads all here. And this is not an ad. See where it says ad, ad, ad? Even that's an ad. Art Institute. Yeah, so my first step would be research, Ani.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on that research, I would look at how do I compete? So you don't have any web research to see what your keyword terms would be or any of that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it were me, that's what I would do before building that kind of a course. Otherwise, you're trying to create a market instead of just fill a market.
Mm-hmm.
And some theory says, oh, go to a market where nobody is. My theory is go to where there's a lot of people searching and build a better mousetrap. Innovate what's there.
Mm-hmm.
There's hundreds of feng shui courses. There's probably hundreds of, if not thousands of people that have content on design. Maybe there's one or two or three schools, but you might be able to position yourself as, an expert or a resource in some way.
Mm-hmm.
It might be kind of interesting is if you could give them a certificate of something after they pass the course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So Ani, research first. I mean, I'm still happy to help you with the content outline too. How did you come up with your content?
I just, I sectioned it off in how I build the room, how I design it. And so it's taking the formal education that I've had and just like really simplifying it into like really basic design principles of, okay, the basics of how you design a room. So like color, space planning, kind of the elements, what to incorporate, what not to incorporate, just the basics of how to get started. And if it's a clean slate, how the elements come together. So kind of like those different modules and kind of like those layers of how you design a room, keeping it really basic.
All right. And so that's your how to design a room. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that's kind of like when I was first building Six Figure Practice and I went and looked at the market, and what I realized is there's a ton of coach training schools, but they weren't teaching people how to build a coaching business. Mm-hmm. It was the number one thing that they weren't teaching. They were teaching all the coaching proficiencies and all the how-to, but not how to build the biz.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving them the how to do design and do a room. Is that the whole course?
Yeah, eventually I do want to get into the business component. But I honestly, I don't feel that confident right now because I'm still building my own business. I mean, I could, the basics of how to get started, but I just, initially I was going to just focus in on that of how to build a design business, but I just don't feel like I have the track record to really confidently teach that right now.
Well, that may or may not be true. But you have a design business and you're further ahead than somebody who doesn't have one at all. And you can teach them what you've done. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So again, I don't know what kind of traffic is with that, but I would get a little clearer on the market. What's the market opportunity that you have? And it could be, by the way, that you're saying, I'm going to give my online design institute course for free or next to nothing because I know that the design institute is selling theirs, but I'm doing this because I have another agenda or outcome, right? So, you can build it as a revenue stream, but you can also build this as a lead source for something else too.
Yeah, because eventually I do want to have that where they find projects and then we collaborate on projects together. So we're like we're helping each other, building a community. And because they're learning on how to design spaces, and then I can be a resource for them. And it's another lead gen too on bigger other projects. And it could be, there's another factor, it's called e-design, where you don't even go to the space, but you're doing everything online. You're designing spaces completely online.
Yeah, you know what? If it were me, and again, I just consider this, I'd look at the traffic for, Design Institute, like Jeff said, give some kind of certification. I might build a course that gives, the top 10 types of design, e-design,
Mm-hmm.
And then what I would sell, I'd give that away as a lead magnet, even if you had to put a little bit of time and money into it. And then I would sell a monthly membership that is, 100, 200, whatever bucks a month, depending on what level they're at, and make that your community. And that's where you teach the business stuff. That's where you have an open forum. And it's, you know what I mean? So that's an opportunity. I'm going to do something very similar in the coaching space. So we have this thing called 1000coaches.com. And I'm going to take my existing content 6-figure practice and teach people, here's how you do it. I'm even give away the 9 modules I used to sell for $1,000 to build the list of coaches who want to learn how to build a business. And then if they want to join my monthly continuity, they pay $100 or $200 a month. And now I can have 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 coaches in there, that the whole purpose is that we're creating business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you give that course, in that case, becomes a lead magnet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, I'm really interested in design. She gave me so much value here. I wonder what being a part of her monthly membership would be like.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the business side of it there. It's like, this is how to be the designer, but this is how you do a part-time or full-time business.
Mm-hmm.
Just an idea.
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm.
So either you're kind of looking at, where's the market and what's your model.
Mm-hmm.
So if your model is, no, I want to sell how to be a designer, to housewives, to design their homes better, great. Price your product properly, get enough traffic going to it, and try to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want your community your avatar to be a bunch of people who want to actually be in the business of design, and you think that they would pay to be in that business, that's another option. So you could keep your design business and show them, I have a great design business. I went from this to this. I love what I do, but I wanted to have a community of other designers who are also connected, collaborating, masterminding, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's your vision? Because I'm dumping vision here, but what's yours?
Yeah. Well, I think just from having so many conversations of sharing what I do, I do get a lot of people that want to learn design, and they just want to learn how to design their space, but they want to feel like they have a say in that, and they don't necessarily want to hire a designer. So just by talking to people in my community, I see a demand for that people just are interested, men and women. And then there's, I guess I'm split there. And then there's the business side where it's like, I want to be able to have it accessible and open where people just learn the basics of how to create a room that makes them feel good, uplifted, and helps them with the, feel energized. And then there's that component where, okay, the people that are more entrepreneurial that want to incorporate, they're flipping, or they're realtors, or they're just wanting to know some basics for professionals, and they can actually incorporate design into the business that they're already doing.
I think that one sounds really interesting because there's so many realtors across the country. And when you have a niche like that, it's easy to target them, like in Facebook ads or whatever, like in flipping that term, and real estate, and feng shui and getting the house ready. I mean, that is people that are willing to spend money. If I could spend $1,000 and quickly learn how and get a certificate or something like that, that makes me a more valuable realtor, because now I can say I've got a certificate from the Ani Institute of interior design, and I know how to set your house up to make it sell easier. So now you've got some real financial incentive for them to get that certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a niche market that's easy to go after. And Jim's probably got some connections on how to target realtors as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they have money, the average realtor probably makes over $100,000, and, it's a tax write-off for them. If they spend $1,000 on getting a certificate, that's money well spent from them. And it's something that goes on their when they're prospecting to get new listings. The fact that they have that certificate might put them in front of, the realtor that doesn't have the certificate.
So that's called staging, right, Ani?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different of a product line. As Jeff's saying, there's a ton of realtors that know about staging or somebody on their team. The question is, this goes back to your avatar. Who do you want? What's the community that you want around you? If you had to serve a group of people, who would you want to serve?
Yeah, I relate more to designers, to creatives, and I see that a lot of the struggles, very similar struggles that the creative entrepreneur has, and create a community that supports each other in growth and not in competition. So that, to me, seems more in alignment versus, because I've only done like 3 staging projects, so I'm not an expert. I know the basics and could design, but I'm not a staging expert. There's people that just do staging.
Yeah, and again, one of the cool things about where anything you wanted to learn about, you could actually build a community or a team around. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be the expert going in. I know people who didn't know anything about what they're now masters of. Mm-hmm. And it's because, like let's say it was real estate, like Jeff is saying, real estate agents. You could literally just, build a team and an R&D thing to figure that out. The easiest way to do that, the easiest way to create a course is to identify who do I want to serve, and then ask them what do they want to learn about that subject, that business, that whatever. Mm-hmm. When you get everybody who's that person asking the same questions, then your course is simply answering those questions. You want to see an example of somebody who did that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And just FYI, we just sent out a questionnaire, like a survey to all the chiropractors, which is our main focus, and we got a wealth of data back from them.
What did you learn from that?
Just like how they're using it, how they're describing it to their patients. And one of the things that we got is like 87% of them say that they can get results with rapid release that they couldn't get without rapid release. And I mean, just a lot of real valuable data.
What were their questions about the product or about the business, or like what? Because that's a little different. That's about your specific product. Well, actually, I guess it could be the same.
Yeah, what you mentioned about kind of figuring out who you want to work with and who's your dream clients, and then ask them what they want to learn. I mean, I think it's kind of endearing to them. It's makes them feel like their opinion's special, and it's by the answers that you get, it could be very very clear what direction you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So Ani, if you had 50 or 100 of those people in there, right? You'd have your R&D team, and they'd help you define the course. So let me show you this guy right here. So this is a course that I bought. This video is very good. If you haven't seen this yet, it's 1000shows.com. Okay. His headline is very strong, and then his video is really good. So I'm not going to play it now, but watch this. You have to put your email in to get the video, right? And then he's got social proof down here, right? So he's got pictures of some celebrities, and he's basically selling everybody on the concept that what you need is you need a show. You don't need a podcast. You don't need a webinar. You don't need a live stream. All of those have one thing in common. You're creating a show. Okay. And so I'll show you the inside of this, because when you get inside, let's log in.
So is that what, like, once a week when like a Facebook Live, that's like you're creating a show, like a live, that's your show?
That's the channel.
It's a channel.
Yeah, but the show might be anisdesign.tv, right? So it's the Ani show, and you might broadcast on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, but you have a show. This is the Mark K's show. But here's what I wanted to show you. This right here, his website. Okay, here's his website right here, which is his enrollment piece, and that video kind of sells you. Once you get in, the video sells you. Then you go in, and here's the membership. It's all done on ClickFunnels. So you could literally replicate this. I'm replicating this for 1,000 coaches. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because I want coaches in 190 countries. So I'm going to sell a membership to coaches for $100 a month, which is what his thing costs. And I'm going to see how many coaches want to learn how to build their business. But here's his program, right? Pick your product, pick your audience, pick your medium, pick your network. And then here's the 3 most important things: how to make money, how to capture. Every one of these is just a video, right? So he's got 12 videos for $100 a month. And then he's got a live Facebook group where he does Q&A once a week. That's his business model. So these topics came, I'm sure, from him asking people, if you wanted to start a show, what would you want to know? Well, how do I pick my product? How do I pick my audience? How do I know where to broadcast, right? You know, what network should I be a part of? Okay, ESPN, da, 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 da. So it's that simple. And these videos are not long. So it doesn't have to be difficult. But my point in this is your content, which is every one of these is his pieces of content, right? Every one of these are his content. It comes from, what does your audience want or need to know to build a show, to build a design business, to redesign a home? Start with, what are their questions? Because if you answer their questions, then when you're writing your copy, right, you're giving them the solution inside. Okay? Is this helping, or am I on or off track here?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah, no, it's helping. I'll have to look into that. Watch his video and kind of get a little bit more acquainted.
Yeah, my point isn't to try to sell you on his format or anything. My point is that when you're designing, you have to pick who's your avatar, who do you want to serve, all right? And then you have to ask them, what questions or problems do you have with this subject? Mm-hmm. Okay. Otherwise, your content is, may or may not be what is necessary for them.
Okay.
All right. So I want to kind of tie this up here. What's your takeaway? Because Jeff shared, I've shared, Donna's listening. What's your takeaway, and is there any action associated?
So the next takeaway. I'm sorry, is there any cut out there?
Yeah,
action?
What's your takeaway, and is there any actions associated?
Oh yeah, so takeaway is, do a little bit more research, see what people want, and find out what the problem is, and ask questions, do some surveying, so just do more market research and more online research and seeing what people are searching for. And then after I get the market research, after I do the surveying, then create a course and content around that, what people are actually wanting to learn.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know your avatar, can you put something together that says, in either phone or online or whatever, and just say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about helping, people design their homes. What questions would you have? Mm-hmm. And come back with a top 10 or top 20 list of questions. If you get the same questions over and over again, then you know that your avatar, if there's 1,000 of them, are wanting those top things answered. That's what you deliver.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have seen people create courses because, as you know, I go through a ton of courses. And, when I ask them, I go, who did you build this for? Well, they really built it for themselves. They just thought that's what people needed. And I'm like, well, if your customers don't want that information, you wasted your time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's switch gears. We can come back, Ani. So Jeff, what's on your agenda? What do you want support with?
I think I'm doing real good. Me and Stan are getting along well. He's open to some some changing in pricing. So I don't really have any issues right now that I need to discuss.
Okay, well that's good, because when you and I spoke last, you were looking at a buyout option of you or him. Is that now on pause or off the table, or?
I want to see how the cryptocurrency comes along. If that takes off like we're expecting it to, I'll probably want to do some kind of buyout clause. Either I buy him out or he buys me out. But I don't know if you saw, but the cryptocurrency market's been cut in half recently. So
I know I just bought more today.
Yeah, I bought more last night, unfortunately. but I think it's going to rebound. I don't see it being any problem. And I think what we're working on is it's extremely lucrative.
Yeah.
So,
so really, you've got a transition plan with that, but you want to stabilize with Stan.
Well, I really want to focus on the crypto stuff right now. I think I've got potential to make untold millions, in the next 3 months. So I want to see how that goes, and if that goes as well as I think it is, then so I don't want to cut my ties with Stan and rapid release at this point. I want to wait till we get through the ICO, and then if we make it through the ICO with flying colors, then it's it's all over.
Yeah, that's a game changer for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the rapid release business, and I want to share with each of you something that I put together to help us as a mastermind start getting some focus around the business side. Okay, so, and Donna, how are you feeling? Do you want to hop in here for anything?
No, I'm good. I'm just listening.
Okay, so this is going to apply to all three of you. All right, so this is a spreadsheet. It's still a work in progress. All right, there's multiple tabs at the bottom. What we're looking at right now is the blueprint tab. Can you guys see this?
Just barely myself. It's on my phone. The blueprint tab. Okay.
Yeah, at the bottom it says blueprint. Then
Okay.
it has a scorecard for each month. Okay.
Okay.
So let me talk about the blueprint, then I'm going to talk about this called the scorecard. Okay.
All right.
So the blueprint, and again, these categories are all customizable, but this is similar to what John Ashraf and I built when John and I were coaching the 25K masterminds. All right. So these are just kind of number of items that I've accomplished out of all these lists. So as we go down, you're going to start to see that, all right, do I have my core values done? Yes or no, right? Do you know your own personal core values? I know that, Jeff, you know yours. Actually, all of you should know yours from Mastery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Jeff, you know yours. Ani, do you have your core values done from Mastery, your top 5?
I do, but I don't have them right now.
All right. So anyways, so let's say that you did, okay, that all 3 of you had yours, and I think Biljana got hers, but I'm going to put no. All right. So again, when we look at the overall piece of us building our business, and I'm going to show this one again. I'm trying to put some structure in place so when we come to the call, our wins start having a little more structure to them. So I'm going to do a new share here. All right, so you remember this model right here. So in the middle is values, And you also have your core values. So you have your core values and you have the business values. All right. So core values for you, core values for your business. Does your business have a clear mission statement? All right. Do you have a clear vision? Currently, this is what the world looks like and my business looks like. This is what I want it to look like, right? Top 5 things you want to see change in the world. Okay. Do you have goals? Do you have financial goals? Do you have happy, healthy, wealthy goals? Is your core business model defined and the roles? I'm just going to put core business model with roles. What does that mean? That means that, like for Jeff, for example, at Rapid Release, right? Their core business model is pretty easy to understand. You guys have a product, right? A tangible physical product. You know your role, you know Stan's role, you know the rest of the team's roles, right? All right. Do you have some kind of daily priming routine? Something that you do every day for your affirmations and goals? And do you have a daily scorecard? Something that's helping you stay on track? Then we get into some of the business stuff. Okay. Do you have lifetime value of a client? Right? So do you know how much your average client is worth? Do you have a revenue plan? Do you know who your avatar is, your perfect client profile, their psychographics and demographics? Do you know their wants and needs? Do you know their hot buttons? Now you may have multiple ones because Jeff, you have the user of your product, but you sell to chiropractors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that avatar and what they want and need and their hot buttons is going to be different. This is important to understand. When you're selling something, every product or service that you sell may have a different avatar. And the more avatars and the more products and services you sell, the more complex your business is compared to somebody who has one product or service. I think you guys remember that model, right? Pull something up here. And I think I put it on a different floor chart. Oh, here it is. You guys remember this model? Remember this? Where I said, you can have a bunch of people that you sell one product to. So Jeff, right now, you guys have one product, right? Rapid Release?
Two.
Okay. So you have 2 products. So you've moved into multiple products. You sell to multiple audiences, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you already have multiple audiences. You have 2 products. Okay. The fastest way to build and to scale something is to have one product that focuses on one problem for one customer. Okay. Because now all of your marketing, all of your messaging, all of your support, everything's built around that one thing. And you can go from this to, A or B. The problem most businesses, when they don't have focus, and I've been guilty of this too, you serve everybody, everything, right? And in the cases where that actually works is when you have big investment capital like an Amazon or a Facebook or something like that. They're servicing anyone and everyone with a bunch of products, but what they're building, their one offer is called what? What's their one thing? It's a platform. Facebook doesn't create content, right? They don't even drive audience. So important to understand. Okay. So this is all of this content that I'm sharing here is stuff that we can build for your company with the goal of it being an operational company that you're free from. So these are the things that are required in the company, right? So this is mostly marketing type stuff right here: elevator pitch, headlines, lead gen strategies, the materials, lead conversion strategies. What are the channels that you're going to market through? And then what's your sales and strategies and tactics? Okay. Marketing outline, sales process map, all these things really are focused on marketing. Dashboards and KPIs, that actually needs to move down.
Are you sending this to us?
I am gonna give this to you all. I just wanted to go through it first.
Good.
Okay. And I'm going to reorganize this a little bit too into marketing and sales. I'm not going to do a ton on operations right now because I think what will benefit this group the most is really focusing on marketing and sales. Right. So then we come down and say, all right, what are the things we have? What do you need to be working on? But all of this comes into our scorecard. Okay. And this is really the most important piece. If we get all of us on the same page with reporting these things, or we decide there's something else we want to report, this will be a game changer for your business. Okay. So the first is, what's your annual revenue goal? So Ani, Donna, Jeff, do you have a stated annual goal for revenue?
Is that personal or company?
Company.
Might be 4 million for a rapid release this year.
Okay. All right. So 4 million. All right. Donna, Ani?
I don't have a goal yet. I haven't set a goal.
Okay.
One is 250.
250. Okay. All right. Ani, give me a ballpark. You can change it, by the way.
175.
Okay. Okay, and we don't know really on it yet. So here's the idea. Let's say that's a goal, and I think both goals could probably be a little bigger, but we'll go with that for right now. Okay. Now the question is, and again, you may not know these numbers yet, but you need to know. How many leads would you need in your funnel or in your campaign in order to reach your monthly sales, your monthly revenue goals? Don, I'm going to mute you for a second there, sweetie. So, Jeff, what's the difference between a sales goal and a revenue goal?
I guess sales would be the number of sales and revenue would be the dollar amount.
You can do it that way. You can do units. Yeah. The way
actual transactions.
I look at it like this: sales, and again, your revenue and sales may be the same, but if someone purchases a program or a product, that's a sale. But you may not collect all the revenue that month. Okay. So for example, if in coaching, for example, if somebody buys a year-long program, we may have made a $10,000 sale, but they may only be paying $1,200 a month.
Yeah, ours is pretty much the same.
Okay.
Most everyone pays in full.
Okay. So then your sales and revenues would be about the same. So this is sold, this is collected. Ani, you have sales and you have revenues, right? Because you don't collect all your money up front. Mm-hmm. So you might sell a $5,000 project, but what's the deposit being made?
Usually a third or half.
Yeah. So let's say that it's 2,500. You sold 5,000. So you might go, all right, sold 5,000, but my collected was 2,500. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if my goal is 175,000 divided by 12, what is that? Okay, so if it's 175,000, your monthly sales goal should be 14.5. Now this is perfect math. We know that never works, right? So, but let's say that your goal was 5,000. Okay, Jen, we need to get these formulas calculating. Can you help with that?
Yeah, right this second. I mean, we changed it around a lot, remember? So as soon as we get it set, then we can set the calculations.
Okay.
So I just don't want to
set
them and change them.
What's that?
I just didn't want to set them and change them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a percent to goal of whatever it is. This is less than half. So it's probably 40% to goal. So that tells you where you're at for your sales goal. Now your monthly revenue goal might be 10,000. And if you collected 5, then you're at 50%. Make sense?
Mm.
There, I just figured it out. There, now our formulas are in. Okay. So does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jeff, does this make
Yeah.
sense?
Uh-huh.
All right. So it makes sense. Donna, let me know if there's any challenge with this. Now my next question is, do you want to play this game? Do you want to use this scorecard as our way of keeping us on track with the numbers, being accountable?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Now, here's another one, and you may have to get this from your bookkeeper or CPA. All right. But profit margins, what's the goal of the profit margin? So, Jeff, in your business, what kind of margins do you operate on?
Our gross profit margin is 90%.
Okay.
And our net is about 40%.
All right. So, we want to do net. I think we should do net, right?
Yeah, gross is also good. I mean, it might be nice to have both.
You can't understand the simplest version is what you're taking home,
Sure.
right?
Well, the simplest, I mean, what we're taking home is the gross.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I
No,
had it the other way around.
Yeah, it's net. Okay, so your net margin goal is how much? 40?
Is this a percentage or in US dollars or?
It's gonna be, that's a good question. You could do it as a percentage of revenue.
Yeah, margins are typically a percentage. So
Yeah, that's what I think I put in. This is your profit this is your net profit as a percentage of revenues minus expenses.
yeah, so I'd have to get our bookkeeper to get that so it's calculated automatically.
Okay.
I don't think that's done yet, but it's a good excuse to get it done. It should be done.
Yeah, well, what it tells you, because some businesses scale and some don't. So you may find, wow, we just had to add more staff. So now all of a sudden, we're making less than we were before. So our business operates well at 4 million. No, it actually operates better at 2. You make more money with less headache and stress.
So I wonder if I include my salary as part of the net profits.
I think that's personal. So,
Okay, because I mean, it is the net profit, but it's kind of the way it's structured as an S corp that the net profits flow down to us. So,
okay.
well,
I'm open to structuring this however we want to structure it, because each of your business is a little different.
I think we're all S corp. I mean, we're all flow down corporations. So
yeah. Okay, so and then the other one is number of free days per month, goal versus actual. So how many days? Like I'm trying to trim back the amount of days that I'm working, right? So in January, my goal is to have 4 free days or 8 free days or 10 free days, right? So
are you including weekends?
Yeah, let's say there's 30 or 31 days in the month. How many days are you going to not work?
12.
12. Now, maybe, by the way, as an entrepreneur, sometimes one day is a stretch, right? A day where you're not checking your phone, you're not on email, you're not on, literally you're off.
0.
Yeah. So what would the goal then be? 1?
Well, I think if you combine both businesses, it would be 0 because I'm going to be working on everything every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So then we would just track that and say, all right, 0. My goal this month is to take 4 days off that I do not do work. I don't want to answer a Voxer, an email. I don't want to be on the computer. So 4 days per month. Okay. So now you may or may not hit that. Then we have this section of for the month for you to hit these goals. And again, I know these are fuzzy. We need to work on these. What's the highest income and or impact activity for you to reach your goals, whether it's a lead, a sale, a revenue, a margin, or free days? What is it that you need to do to get it done? And then what are some of your daily rituals that will support those things? Okay. So if the most important thing, for example, is to do a pitch deck, if that is at the end of the month, if that happened and it moved you closer to your goal, maybe it was a capital raise goal, well, then a pitch deck is the number one priority. If it's defining your goals, if it's building your revenue plan, your marketing plan, getting employee agreements out, hiring new people, doing research, whatever it is, at the end of the month, there should be somewhere between 1 to 5 things that were major things that moved you ahead financially and or in your company. So let's give some examples of what are like the most important things that are on your head as entrepreneurs.
Lead gen.
Okay, so what about a lead gen? Lead gen strategy or amount of?
Both strategy and implementation.
All right, well, you got to have the strategy first to implement.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so having a lead gen strategy. Okay.
Targeting advertising and rearranging the advertising dollars, kind of optimizing, I think optimizing advertising spend.
Okay. We lost you there, Jeff. Ani, what about you or Donna? Oh, Jeff's back.
Why don't you take them and then I'll think of some other ones to add there.
All right, Donna, what's most important, or Ani, what's most important?
For me right now, it's figuring out how to parlay all that work into actual dollars for the company. I know that it's really good marketing and it puts us in the national spotlight, but I haven't figured out it's actually going to make us money.
So I didn't quite hear you, cut in and out a little bit. So it's how to do what?
With the World Food Championships, it's how to capitalize on participating with the World Food Championships and having that make money for us.
So how to monetize the WFC?
Yeah.
So you really need a monetization, a revenue plan or a monetization plan for WFC, right?
Right.
Is that the one of the most important things? If you got that done, would that?
Yes, that would make a big difference.
Okay. What else? You had that $4,000 a month jelly thing. Like I want to hear things about.
Well, that contract is ready to go through. We're making CBD candy, and that is being sold to 15 different stores in Texas. And that's kind of like the first product that we're entering the CBD market with. And it's very lucrative. So even having that account secured and, selling the way that it should kind of gives us a really good base.
So is that?
And it's $4,000 a day.
Okay, so $4,000 a day, every day?
Every day. Yeah.
Hold on, let's do this for a second. So 4 times 30. That's $120,000 a month. Your goal for annual in revenue is only $250,000.
I know, but I don't believe it until it's actually done.
Well, I don't want to throw your own medicine back here. feng shui vision. But I'm going to throw your own medicine back here. That right there, when is that going to launch?
All of the packaging is being finished up. It should be ready to start going into production February 1st.
So your revenue starts on that when?
By the end of February, we'll make stuff for the whole month and then start shipping it out probably somewhere between the 20th and the 1st of February. 1st of March.
Okay, so as much as I love this, I don't think that's your number one. What's your number one? What's your number one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, both of these things are all happening at the same time on the same day. So
I hear
it's
you.
a little. So like this month, everything I'm doing is concentrating on the World Food Championships.
Yeah.
And then next month, everything I'm doing is concentrating on getting the candy made.
Yeah, but okay. So when's the World Food Championship?
World Food Championships are in November, but they're coming to Dallas on the 30th. And the city of Dallas is meeting with me tomorrow. And then we have several planning sessions between now and the 30th to get ready for the World Food Championship owner to come to Dallas. And we're doing a big dinner with an Iron Chef and speaking at the Women in the Food Industries annual meeting. And then I can think about candy.
All right, so let me help with this because I totally see why you're running a deadline-driven business, which I've gotten caught into also. It's interesting. Look at the time, 11 a.m. and I put 120,000 a month on there. So pay attention, Donna.
Okay.
All right. If you had to choose, if both of these could not happen, would you choose as the CEO of the company to launch the CBD candy or to do the World Food Championship? If you couldn't do both, and I know you can, but if you couldn't, if I said you were only allowed to do one.
I would do the candy. It would be better for the company all the way around.
Okay, so just for kicks then, watch what happens here. Because the monetizing the WFC is a right now. It's in the project stage and future potential.
We're talking 24 months. So
I know, I get it. It's like that big step up, but the base of your company at 4,000 a day gives you $1 million a year CBD jelly company. Right?
Right.
So this, my friend, is now going up just off of one product line. Okay? At the end of the year, if you made $1 million to $2 million, let's just say $1 million minimum on a CBD, candy, would the company be happy and healthy?
Yes.
Okay. If at the end of the year you did this big World Food Championship, you got a lot of press, you got a lot of followers, but you didn't have revenue from the CBD candy, would the company be happy and healthy?
No.
So what's our priority?
The priority is the CBD candy, of course.
Yeah. So every day that you wake up, that deserves energy. The monetizing plan of the WFC does also, but this is your number one priority, unless there's something that's more important to the health of the company.
Okay.
Is there anything more important to the health of the company?
No.
Okay. So how does that feel to kind of get just those two? And we can do this for each of you in each thing, but how does that feel so far?
It feels great. I mean, that's kind of where I kind of what I knew. And it's kind of like more about addressing what needs to be addressed today, because right now I'm running as fast as I can. So.
Yep. I hear you.
And this is also a very big feng shui month. And so that is also a kind of a big priority, because all of my feng shui clients from around the world are, trying to get all of their yearly information in. So, and that's money for me personally. That doesn't go to the jelly queens, that goes to me. So that's.
So is that more of a priority than the CBD candy?
No, but it's more of a priority than the WFC.
Okay. Am I calling this wrong? WFC, is that not what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. I mean, this is the only month that everybody goes nuts with feng shui information. So this is a very short-lived thing where the potential to make, a good amount of money for the month is available.
Okay. Perfect. What's the opportunity there? How much is that?
It's usually anywhere from the $20,000.
All right. Let's just say it's 20K. Okay. And then the candy is 4K per month.
Okay, per day.
Oh, duh. So right there, you got some prioritization. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Ani and Jeff, by the way, we can come back and retweak yours. Ani, what's coming up for you? Give me some of your highest impact and income activities. Hold on. Go ahead.
Strategic partnerships. So like working with these developers that they have these really big projects. And so I just work on the project versus like trying to get projects, actively looking. So like with developers, and the next one is a bank. So I have some colleagues and a person that works in the banks that they work with designers that have project manage and design commercial buildings, interiors, and that person that would do the contracts with the designers is a really close friend of mine, and he was saying some of those designers make anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million a year.
Okay.
And so that to me seems like getting the right partnerships, and this is kind of becomes more of a contractor.
So that's your lead source then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So partnerships is actually a marketing strategy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So is it marketing partnerships or strategic marketing partnerships?
Yeah, just for projects, getting larger projects rolling in versus smaller consultation projects. So yeah, the goal is to have less clients and bigger projects.
Okay. So that's number one. What else?
And then the next thing would be this, the scalability. So it's to scale and with the course and getting that up and running, and then the membership.
So you think the course is the number two?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to challenge you on that.
Okay.
That's future revenue, meaning it's down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're launching that in the next week or 2 or 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what, 175K is, I think, low. What's your best year in your biz?
105.
Okay, so this is an improvement. It's not exponential, but it's a big jump for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you see how you can make 175 this year? And
Yeah, because I'm getting more into the world of developers with ground up projects, and so versus just remodeling an interior. So ground up is can be very lucrative. So I'm already working on a project in Carlsbad with an architect, and we're designing the whole thing. Right now it's just a plot of land, and so we're designing the whole thing. So, and then they have more projects down the line. They have their investors, so they have more projects down the line. So the next one is going to be, 4 units, and just keep looking for properties and designing that way.
Is there anybody in your line of business that's making $1 million a year?
Yeah.
All right. Is their business model different than yours?
They have more of a firm. They have more of a firm type model where they have they scale with projects, and they scale with having lots of employees and designers. So that's a little different. But what I'm recognizing is when I have interns or project managers and I've scaled that way, when I'm working on, I've had 19 projects at once, I get it's too much. So that's why I intentionally try to have less projects that are less clients that are bigger projects, because it just gets too overwhelming. There's too many details, and I'm not as strong when it comes to that many projects. It gets too much.
I think we need to dive into your business model a little bit more, because really what you've got almost in the coaching role, I call it a practice, not a business.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're selling and delivering,
mm-hmm.
right, for a fee. So it's very active income. I know where you're going with the course. I like that. But what I want to look at, and maybe the thing is, I can have a really good design practice and make 175K. I'm going to net how much of that. So let's say that you make 75K net, or 100K net, or 150 at the end of the day, because it's just you. Then that'll pay for your lifestyle. And then you've got to build from there. You got to build your passive income course kind of piece and figure out how maybe they work together. But 175K is probably not enough revenue for you to get financially free unless you're stuffing a ton of it away in investments. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we got to look at your business model a little bit. And if you want the practice model because it's easier to manage, that's great. Then we really got to look at how do you maximize that 175 and make sure you got a waiting list of clients to serve. It's not going to consume all your time. And then do a little research on this course so you can build an online course. And I would probably look at, you partnering with somebody that does the marketing and does all that stuff, because I don't think you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How does that hit?
Yeah. And my goal has always been 300. That's always kind of like the sweet spot, but I'm trying to be realistic. So
well, you can build a model. If you showed me a model that said,
300,000.
Yeah. I mean, realistic, as long as it's not your mindset that's limiting you. If it's a model thing, well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can only work so many hours. You can only sell so many things. But if somebody else is doing it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have got to get ready. My next webinar starting here, not webinar, but mastermind starting in 7 minutes. Jen's going to give you access to this sheet. You can go in and change anything. Obviously, just change yours. Don't go screwing with each other's stuff. Jeff's now got a $50 million a year goal, right?
April Fools.
Yeah. So I would say let's start playing with this. We'll come back and massage it over the next couple of weeks. But each of you should have, revenue goals. We'll get to the lead piece, right? But sales for sure, and revenue goals. Okay. And then what are the most important things for you and to your team to do? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, guys, rock and roll. A little different energy on this one, huh? What's your takeaways from today?
I love this chart.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it too. It kind of makes us think and, put stuff down. It's a good time of year to do it in January. So I think this is good stuff for our meeting tomorrow, next week too, to really dive into detail on this.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Ani?
No, I'm excited where this can just like getting really clear and structuring it. It's going to be really helpful for me.
Yeah, I think it'll help all of us work on each other's businesses too, so that it becomes easier to go, all right, you're on track, you're off track. Is it you or is it the business? It's really the only thing there, right? So this will give us some clear metrics. And again, I'm open to changing these. These are the ones that I thought make sense, because once we know your annual goal and we know your sales and revenue goals, we can figure out, well, how many leads do you need, right? How many leads do you need coming in based on how many you approximately close? The more sophisticated you get, like Jeff is building funnels for rapid release, his marketing team is going to tell him, well, we generated 100 leads today, and we've got 10 of them that purchase, so we got a 10% close ratio. Great. If I want to quadruple my business, then I need to go from 100 to 400 leads. That's how simple this gets. All right, well, what are the sources? That's where this blueprint stuff starts coming in. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody, rock and roll. Thanks. Have an awesome day, and let's make sure that Jen knows. So Jeff, you're in for the mastermind 1 or 2 days. Ani,
Yes.
you're in 1 or 2 days. Donna, you're going to let us know, and Billy, we need to just confirm. I think she had booked her flights already. So, all righty.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Have
Thank
a
you.
great day. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.